morning, everybody.
Hi, Laura.
Morning, Gary. Thank you for coming to Sackville-Cobequid this morning to Acadia Park. Welcome. I would like to introduce you to Darlene Lewis. Darlene, can you tell us a little bit about why you left Sackville?
Well, mostly it was because of the price. I couldn't afford to live here anymore, all on my own with raising my children and everything. And so my parents sold their place and we got an apartment together.
Yeah, and you, at that time, you moved to Clayton Park?
Yes.
Yeah. We're thinking so much in these recent weeks about rent and escalating rents. So I wonder if you could just explain to us the story about your rent and your housing since you've been to Clayton Park in your current situation.
Well, we've gotten a few rent increases, and our last one was actually cut because of COVID and the rent increase, so that we couldn't get that full rent increase. So, but if it does go up again, I don't know what will happen.
Yeah. So before the temporary rent control was brought in, you had received notice of an increase?
Yes.
Yeah. But that increase is, and how much was that? Would that have been?
That would have been $100.
100. But when the temporary rent control came in, no 100.
No, it went down
Yeah.
to only 2%.
2%. So you're just to make sure we understand it. So you'd be in the situation now with where the Liberals and the Conservatives say that they are willing to let temporary rent control be lifted. So if it is lifted and there isn't any more temporary rent control, what will be the impact on your household?
I fear what would actually happen because I'd probably be looking for a tent to live in by myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Thank you for explaining this, Darlene. Tom and Laura and I want to say on this day, 5 days before the conclusion of the election, that in every campaign, it's common that there is an issue that galvanizes and brings the public mind into focus. And in this election, that issue is clearly the issue of permanent rent control. That in each of the 3 and now 2/3 weeks in which Lara and I and Thomas and the rest of our candidates have been canvassing, the issue of permanent rent control has come to occupy more of the conversations and in an increasingly intense way. And we know that people are often kind of discouraged about politics, and they speak about how all the parties are all the same and so on. But this is an election in which nothing could be farther from the truth. That we have two parties, the Conservatives and the Liberals, who are very clear that they are opposed to and do not support permanent rent control, and we have one party, the NDP, who are deeply committed to bringing permanent rent control in within a month of taking office. So that a vote for the NDP is a vote for permanent rent control, and a vote for permanent rent control is a vote for the NDP.